Hello everybody in the second ManaTraders series, a legacy analysis video. Remember, this is the tournament which I play for free because it's a free tournament, anyone can enter. I'm also a subscriber. I use their gold rental service, so I also got a bit more prizes to choose from, but you can also get a bit more prizes if you sign up for their subscription. If you do want to sign up for their subscription and you want to play any deck in any format anytime you want, I highly suggest you use my promo code SKURA for 20% less off of the first 3 months. All the info in the description. This is the series, and let's get to the analysis. Now, this is the same deck I played last time. The same, exactly the same shell. I didn't want to change anything, and I just want to go with you through another match. Yeah, I think that's all for the intro. See you game one. Game one. This is my opening hand. I'm playing against an unknown opponent. That's a Sniper Keeper. So what I dislike about this hand, and I dislike again about Snapcaster in this deck, is that it seems not to have so many targets, because like while in Modern, like this kind of slot, there is Opt, Thought Scour, Cling to Dust, you know. Here Snapcaster is just kind of meh, you know. But that's obviously a keep. I'm leading on an island because remember, fetch lands are a resource in Legacy, so I want to keep it for future cantrips like the Brainstorm. My opponent plays Misty and passes, so I lead on Astrolabe, Misty and pass. Now let's go through this for a moment. So a Misty can be whatever. That could be Sneak and Show. That could be Storm Ant. That could be a Delver deck. That could be another Miracles deck. That could be just so many things. So I didn't want to ponder there because I don't know what I'm looking for. Okay, again, the same kind of thing which we talked about previously. I'm not using it because I don't know what I use it for. And in this format, we don't tend to brainstorm end step, especially if it forced me to crack the fetch, because I would have to redraw basically what I put back. I drew the fourth, and now I still don't know what I'm playing against, but I don't want not to do stuff. So I think I can slam the Oko, right? Worst case, I've got another one, and also I've got Oko plus 4 plus Oko, so I can just go Oko. If it doesn't resolve, I can fourth back and play, and just continue from there. It Oko sticks. I've got fourth backup, which means I'm in a super favorable position and still cantrips to further find something. So I decide to go for that, find a basic land, and just slam Oko. It resolves, and so I just change the other Astrolabe into a creature and immediately bash. I'm not intending to change this other one also into a creature because mana fixing is key. But the first one, no problem. I'm gonna place a Wasteland. Okay, so probably like a Delver deck, but what the kind of weird basic oriented Delver deck. So I've got to get some mixed feelings. My opponent plays their own Oko. I can fourth back, and I think it will work because had they had any Oko, had they had fourth, they would have fourthed my Oko, probably. They don't have a daze. How do I know? Because they would have dazed my Oko. So I think it's a clean fourth. Now I untap. Okay, so now the question is, how do I sequence stuff? Because I personally think that Oko is a very interesting card to play with, and it's one of the perks of Legacy. I get to play with Oko which is a very interesting card. So I could go very aggro and just change this into this and smash, right? I could just create a food. I could main phase Ice Fang and change it into a 3/3. But I think the safest play, which I hope I do, is just start with a Ponder. Just to see what the situation is. I can see 3 removal spells. My opponent has shown me a deck which seems not to be so creature oriented, and even if it is, I've got Ice Fang, Oko, Astrolabe. So I think that's a clear shuffle. I draw another Snapcaster, which is very bad. So I just create a food, smash, and probably hold up Ice Fang. Yeah. My opponent goes for another Oko, holding up Volcanic Island. So yes, I do go for Ice Fang because I could draw a fourth in response, which I would want to use. Okay, I don't draw, so now they have an Oko. So now we will have to leverage Okos. Okay, they kill my creature. So now we'll be basically playing a lot of board position oriented game. So it's not clear who wins. We have to again leverage the situation. So one of the things I could do is just change the food into a 3/3 and bash it for 4, because then when it goes down up to change it into a 3/3, attack for 4, it goes down to 2, so when they +2 it, it's still dead, right? So that's one of the plays. I could start with the Ponder again, or I could just go snap Ponder to be super mana efficient, and then continue from there. And actually I opt to just go for Ponder, leaving Flooded Strand on top as the land, because I want lands anyway, and I can still go snap Ponder this turn. And I think I will, because there is nothing more I'm doing this turn. So yeah, snap Pondering. I want to find basic lands because they clearly play a Wasteland deck. Snap Ponder. Now I've got a beautiful board position, and I think I've got a beautiful board position, so I would really want to have the 4th. So I might as well put Misty, Astrolabe, 4th, draw the 4th immediately, next turn draw the Astrolabe, play the Astrolabe, redraw the Misty Rainforest. So that's what I do. I've got 4th backup now. They just wasteland me, sure. They make it a creature, that's not a problem. Play another wasteland, and they pass. I still have got the 4th up. So yeah, I lead on the Astrolabe because it's free, because I get a land off of it. So now I think for a moment, and I could make this a 3/3, I could make this a 3/3, this a 3/3. But ultimately, I think what I decide to do is to use the -5 ability, because this way I can take their creature. It will be summoning sick, but that's not the problem, because I take their blocker away. I give them an Astrolabe, but I've got a clear attack into Oko, and it's 3/6 damage. So I can attack with all of them into Oko, and if they kill one of the creatures, it still dies. So I think that's the best play. That's the play I came up with, which I'm happy with. And attacking Oko for 6. Now they play an Ice Fang, which now has Death Touch because of my Astrolabe. That's an interesting interaction. Now they block there, but they also want to bolt here, and then Oko would survive. So I think I go aggressively 4th pitching my Oko to just rid of it, because I know if that's the case, I'm just winning on the board. Like if they have Narset, Jace, I don't know, Tarmogoyf, just you name it, I beat it. Okay, and then I still am mana efficient, and I go again snap Ponder. I don't, because they play a Spell Snap, but at the following turn I've got another Oko Shenanigans plus a Jace. So I'm probably in a pretty good position. Now let's see what my opponent can master. I'm thinking what their archetype is, and I've got very limited legacy experience. But I know some stuff, but this, it just seems like a rag stuff. But I think at that moment I'm still thinking of some kind of Delver variant, because Chain Lightning is like that. You don't play this in a control deck, do you? So I'm thinking like a Delverish style deck, probably, where removal is at its premium. It doesn't seem like it yet, but the game they haven't showed me much, so they kind of brainstorming, putting things on top, shuffling away, playing an Astrolabe, passing the turn. So I can I change it into a 3/3, so I can bash for 8. And so I opt to play Trop and then Jace, even though it shows them information and it dies to Wasteland, because I decide that I really don't want to get dazed, okay? Because that's like an unnecessary risk. I'm so ahead on the board. I don't think I should have tapped Trop, because I should have tapped Trop, because they can wasteland me off of the untapped land. If I leave, let's say, Forest untapped, they can't wasteland me off of it. And if I brainstorm into 1 mana spell like Swords to Plowshares, it's better to have this than get it wastelanded. But a Jace closes up the game and I win. I think that was a game packed with action. I really enjoy this game. Let's see what happens, and let's see how I sideboard for game 2 with my predictions of it being a Delver deck, and let's see how it works. Okay, let's see how I sideboarded. So I sided out a Jace, Foves, and a Fawn because I thought the game was going to be, down to earth, low resources. Again, against a Delver deck, I can just be a 1-for-1 control deck. That's fine. So kept all the swords, all the Terminus-I, and we'll see how it plays out for me. So I like this hand. So, I mean, I kind of like this hand, right? Because if I want to play Ice Fang, I need to find a dual land, which means it doesn't have Death Touch, and I'm prone to Wasteland with this hand, but I don't think I can mulligan it. They bleed on a Scalding Tarn, I draw a Forest, so that's a good thing. But I cannot lead on the Forest, because then I can't veto onto. So I decide to lead on the Delta, which can potentially find a Trop, if I need to. And then I can play an island and just pass. Again, I can cast Trop if I need to. My opponent now brainstorms End Step, which is something that I know Ari Lax has always been an opponent of, and I'm also an opponent. Unless, so generally, I wait with my brainstorm until as you've seen probably throughout these matches, I really kind of I treasure my cantrips. But my opponent, but in a situation when my opponent would end the brainstorm, I'd imagine it's in a third deck. I imagine that they want to maximize their chances to go turn 3 threat, right? That's what I imagine happening, which is potentially something that could happen. So I wouldn't be surprised if they OHKO me, but they don't. So I opt not to fetch because I really want to have basic lands. I can just play this and just pass again. They brainstorm End Step again. So it's really weird. They must have kept maybe a very shaky hand and that's just because they had brainstorm. But they're just spewing the brainstorms, left and right. So that's a sad waste of a cantrip. Such a powerful cantrip. I wish it was modern legal. I mean, I would like to play with it, but I don't know if it have a good influence on the format. Now Astrolabe, not a problem. Now they play Sylvan Library. Now, I could have vetoed, but I opted against it because if they veil my veto, I'm really sad. And I'd rather, if my read is that this is a veil, I can still go Snake, End Step, Untap, Teferi, Bounce, right? I would still have veto in my hand. I draw Terminus, which is clearly not the best draw here. I untap, draw Carpet of Flowers, and which gives me mana, which is a good thing because it's exactly what I lack right now. But if I remember correctly, I completely mismanaged my Carpet because I forget that I can just pass to the second main phase and get mana. So I just commit now instead of not now and being able to play a Teferi. Oh no, because if I add... Yeah, I could add, for example, white, and I could both Teferi and veto. So that was very poor play by me. They blasted, and no. Otherwise, I'd have the veto, and I would have vetoed the blast, bounced this with Teferi, have the snake. So I messed up completely, but that's because it was one of my first times I cast Carpet of Flowers. But I realized my mistake immediately after the combat because the second main phase I was asked about the mana. So I immediately realized my mistake. My opponent goes Uro. Again, I can't do anything, and I'm afraid that this game is going to be over very soon. But my best bet is what? My own Thief of Crowns plus my own veto. So this is exactly what I've got. Actually, I've got so much mana I can go Snake and OHKO and veto. This is exactly what I do. So now we've got again OHKO sub game. So I'm thinking, can I possibly lose this game? And I think I can because of that stupid library. So they wasteland me off of white, so now I don't have access to veto. Again, I knew this would come to bite me. Basic lands are important. That's why as I said I really like back to basic, clean, blue-white miracle list, because that doesn't ever happen. Now my opponent plays Narset, which resolves, obviously, and they find a red blast, which they thankfully cannot cast as of yet. But Couple of Flowers basically dead. It had this moment to shine, which I messed up, and now I can't take advantage of the mana in any way. So again, just I want to bash, but they've got the snake. I killed the Narset, but they killed the Narset. So basically, my best bet is that they go to kill this. I veto the blast, and we continue the game. But they veil my veto, and I know this game is probably over. So we'll see for how long. I will be passing the turn, but I will most probably be conceding any time from now. Draw a snap, cast a mage, empty snap. I can't even snap ponder. It's just terrible draws. And now I'm more and more convinced they're not a Delver deck, which is sad. And I just say, okay, sure, let's just play the third game. So let's see what the third game has in store for us. Okay, we've got game 3. A very awkward head again, because this has to be a trop, and this, and then I'm casting this, and I'm basically dead to a wasteland, and this card is dead. So the conservative player in me says it's a mulligan. Now, I kind of readjusted my sideboarding, I can see. Cut the Termini, but kept the Entreat because it's great in longer games. And kept the 3 swords, just in case. And unfortunately, I draw the 1 miracle and 1 of the swords. And now, this is a pivotal point, because the question is whether I can realistically mull down to 5. Right? And now thinking about it, I probably should have. I don't, putting back Entreat, but I probably should have. Now this hand has lands, has got a threat, so I just need to top deck, any cantrip, right, which I've got plenty of in my deck, or any action, and I'm good to go, and I've got 4 Ponder, 4 Brainstorm, 4 Astrolabe, a snake, just anything, and I draw another land, so that's, I already know this game's probably over, but my best bet is to just jam Oko. I draw another land, sure, just slamming Oko, hope it works. They brainstorm in response, they blast it, and I basically know I'm dead, but but they don't have a threat. Oh no, they do have a threat. So I think, that's average, but let's see what I draw at least. I draw Jace the Mind Sculptor, so actually I could be in this game. I just need to slam Jace with the basic land. Oh, they fought my Jace. So now I probably don't have any chance, but that was my best. Top decks, they play an Astrolabe, now they play an Narset, which decide to pack it up because there's nothing that can basically bring me back from this situation. Woof! Should I have mulliganed down to 5? Maybe I could have, but realistically, obviously that's post factum, but no 5 can beat Pyroblast into 4, into Oko, into Narset. But anyway, maybe down to 5. What would this 5 look like? Probably like 2 lands, 2 cantrips and something maybe, or 2 lands, Oko, Snake, Astrolabe. So maybe I should have mulliganed down to 5. I think I should have. I think I heavily punted the second game with the Couple of Flowers. So I think the loss is, I think, heavily on me. So yeah, thank you for watching this analysis. I think I'm gonna find out with brisk pace. And remember, this is a part of the tournament which I played because it's a ManaTraders series. I played for free because I'm their subscriber, but you can also play for free even if you're not their subscriber. But if you are their subscriber, you get additional prizes, and you can become their subscriber very easily. You can just go to the website, and when you buy my preferred gold subscription, you can use my promo code to get 20% off the first 3 months. And again, with each month, you get loyalty bonuses. So the longer you are their client, the better conditions you've got. Thank you very much for watching. I'll bring you more Legacy ManaTraders series content I will bring you different decks, I think, but for now, please remember to hold my hand, let's pass them together and see you next time. Cheers!